Victor Gyokeres is joining Arsenal. Deal confirmed between Lisbon and Arsenal. This is absolutely massive for the football club, and it completely changes Arsenal going into next season. We're going to break down the terms of the contract, the fee, and initial thoughts about how Gyökeres changes Arsenal next season. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave your comments down below. Give me some early goal predictions for Victor Gyökeres. Maybe just do it in the Premier League. An early spoiler for you guys watching at home has to be, I think he scores 20 goals in the Premier League next season at a bare minimum. We could be looking at 30 plus in all competitions. Now we can debate, maybe in different videos, a little bit closer to the start of the Premier League campaign for Arsenal, if that takes him over the line to win the Premier League and or major silverware. But I think he's got the ability, if he stays fit, alongside Saka with his fitness as well, and Odegaard, I think he could score big goals, and a big amount of them too. Make sure you subscribe, as I've just said. Give me your initial thoughts. Victor Gyökeres, for the fee, it's outstanding business for Mikel Arteta. They have got a top European striker for very little. I mean, we're talking 63.5 million euros with add-ons close to 10 million euros. So 73.5 million euros, 65 million pounds. That's the same amount that Chelsea spent on a left back from Brighton in Gyokeres. It's less than Hugo Ekitike. It's got no top level experience in the same way that Victor Gyökeres has, obviously playing in a top league in Germany. But Victor Gyökeres has scored big goals in the Champions League and a bit of experience in English football with his time in the second division, of course, as well. So Victor Gyökeres comes in with big experience. He's in his prime years, and he scores big goals. He scored more goals than he played games last season for Sporting Lisbon. 6 of them in the Champions League. A hat-trick against Man City. These are outstanding numbers. But you have to just go back to the fee, because for £63 million, let's just say he meets all his add-ons, there's no pressure on him. He doesn't have to score massive amounts of money. Remember Fernando Torres at Chelsea, or even Shevchenko at Chelsea. £30 million for Shevchenko, $50 million for Torres. It puts a lot of pressure on you. The pressure around Jack Grealish, the pressure around maybe Coutinho to Barcelona. Any kind of fee that reaches £100+ million puts huge pressure on you, particularly if Arsenal are spending the money, one of the biggest clubs in world football. But for £65 million, I actually think it gives them a lot of license to be a little bit more free of any way of transfer expectation. He is an Arsenal number 9, but they've got big players around him that can rotate in and out, in and around the squad. He doesn't have to hit the ground running. I think he will, by the way, but he doesn't have to hit the ground running. Florian Wirtz has to hit the ground running in a different kind of way because he costs 120 million euros. This guy, it's a cheap price for someone that scored 54 goals on 52 appearances last season. It's outstanding. Now obviously it's down to the fact of his contractual issue with Sporting Lisbon, how long he had left on it, but let's be completely real. That kind of fee is massive for Arsenal. It actually means they can strengthen in the squad as well in other areas. Mosquera coming in, a fantastic defender from Valencia. So it's a very good deal for Arsenal in that regard as well. A 5-year contract. They're getting the best 5 years out of him because at the age of 27, you're not over the hill as a striker. Ian Wright signed for Arsenal when he was 28, 29 years old, and he became one of their highest ever scorers. That was many years ago when football fitness was at a whole different level. Victor Gyökeres is absolutely jacked. He's got great fitness. He could go for a very long time at Arsenal, despite the fact he's joined at the age of 27. I don't like the narrative around him that he's kind of a bit of a spent force, or he's not quite in his young prime years. 27's a bit old. It's just football Twitter. You don't understand real football, because ultimately Gyökeres at 27 is in his prime years. You're not always going to get Erling Haaland at 21 years old. You're not always going to get Harry Kane scoring goals when he's 20 years old. It's just not going to happen. A young Nicolas Anelka, for example, at 27, he's got so much room to grow at Arsenal and to develop into one of the great strikers in European football. He's probably already there. I mean, there's not many better than him. I think you take Lewandowski, Haaland, Kane, then you're running out of options. Osimhen, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I think he's a better option than Sesko as well. 97 goals and 102 appearances for Lisbon in total. And again, 54 and 52 last season. So he's arriving at an apex of his career. He's growing into his role at Sporting Lisbon. His qualities are absolutely outstanding. Great pace. There are highlights of his kind of clunky touch, or he's got a heavy touch. I think that gets polished up when you move out of a club like Sporting Lisbon. If you're willing to work, willing to educate yourself. I think Darwin Núñez came out of the Portuguese league, and at times it looks like he hasn't really changed his game. I think Gyökeres can improve his touch. He can improve how astute he is, how smart he is as a footballer. He doesn't have to be Lionel Messi linking up play. All he has to do is bury chances. He's playing alongside Saka, maybe the great right winger in world football behind Mohamed Salah. He's going to get so many opportunities from that little dinked ball from Saka on his left foot. Martin Odegaard, I mean, the amount of chances that Martin Odegaard could give to Gyökeres is indescribable. Let's be completely real. You have to take your hat off to Mikel Arteta. In the last 7 years, Arsenal have basically gone without a real striker to really challenge the likes of Erling Haaland, or maybe prior to that, Harry Kane at Tottenham Hotspur, for example. I mean, all the big managers, all the big football clubs, they sign strikers in their prime years. You can't outsmart the market or football clubs for very long. Pep Guardiola, maybe the greatest manager in world football ever for some people, tried to outsmart the Premier League and tried to have a non-number 9 situation at Man City for many years when Aguero left. Ilkay Gundogan, Sterling, Jesus, Foden as false nines. It never works. Haaland comes in and City win the second treble in English football history. I'm not saying Gyökeres is going to be anywhere near Erling Haaland, but Haaland came in and people were saying he was going to score 15 goals in the Premier League. He scored 50 plus. So Gyökeres, there's a lot of criticism about maybe his adaptability, his time already spent at Coventry, for example, where it didn't quite work out. Playing in the second division, he was a young kid. What can you say? You have to say now he's arrived as a completely transformed figure, and I think he's going to work out in a big way. Also, Arsenal Football Club. I mean, they haven't signed a major striker since when? I mean, we're talking Aubameyang. Is that 2016, 2017? Lacazette came in with a lot of fanfare. Obviously, that didn't work out in the same way Aubameyang did, but Lacazette was many years ago. That's an Arsene Wenger signing. That's how old it is. So we're talking Lacazette, Aubameyang. There's nothing really of note since then in terms of a number 9. Jesus, I don't really count as a number 9. Eddie Nketiah, already at the club. Kai Havertz, I don't think it's been a bad signing. And then Moreno at points was playing down the middle when Havertz was injured. And Arteta got a tune out of him. So you have to sort of take your hat off to Mikel Arteta that Arsenal have got as far as they have without a number 9 and competed on multiple fronts. Haven't got quite over the line with a trophy in recent years, but beating Real Madrid, getting close to Man City with huge points totals, smashing Man City last season, the champions of England, without really a striker. These are outstanding things. It actually gives Arsenal a platform for a number 9 to come in and completely set it alight, completely transform the side. And I think he absolutely will. If you can just sit there with your defence, one of the best defences in Europe, great keeper, Raya, Saliba, Gabriel back to full fitness, Skelly. You can just sit there, soak up a load of pressure. Zubimendi, Declan Rice in front of them as well. You can just hit sides on the counter-attack. I think Madueke will be very exciting as well with Gyökeres. Lisbon were great at doing that, being a great counter-attacking side with Ruben Amorim. And Gyökeres can make Arsenal more counter-attacking, more deadly when they're actually soaking up pressure as well. I think it's going to work out. I think he's going to score 30 goals in all competitions plus. That's my early prediction, as long as he stays fit, of course. I think it's going to work. He's an instinctive striker. It's a competitive price. There's no pressure. And the way Arsenal play football, they will bang goals with Gyökeres up front. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I want to hear your thoughts. Goal tallies for Gyökeres going into all competitions. I'll see you very soon.